Hello, all, and welcome to All Red. We got a fun one today. We're going to talk about the top 3 Liverpool outgoing transfers and the top 3 incoming transfers for this upcoming winter transfer window or next summer, more likely next summer in 2025. But I think I've got 3 outgoings nailed on, and I think I've got 3 incomings that Liverpool absolutely need to sign, because this is the channel that is all Liverpool all the time. It's All Red. Please hit that like button and consider subscribing. I don't know what the next milestone is. Maybe we just add a 0 to what we've got now because we just reached 10,000 subscribers. So let's go for 100K, guys. What do you think? Hop on board, subscribe, and this is going to be a lot of fun. All right, let's start with the 3 Liverpool outgoing players. These are 3 players I think Liverpool will sign. I think 3 players that Arne Slot deems as unnecessary moving forward. Not that they're bad players, but I think Arne Slot, we know he can be a little ruthless when it comes to getting rid of players that he doesn't necessarily see a future at the club. So number 1, probably not a big surprise, but Wataru Endo. This is a guy that has very, very, very rarely featured for Arne Slot. I just don't think Arne Slot wants to invest in a 31-year-old midfielder who is very good at what he does, which is a defensive midfielder, a defensive bulldog that will get in there and do whatever he needs to do to get the ball back, but maybe not as good in possession. And Arne Slot needs both of those things. Maybe less of the bulldog, defensive midfielder, and more of the finesse Ryan Gravenberch can possess and can play the ball around the field. So I see Wataru Endo as unnecessary moving forward. I think, 20 million pounds may be a little much, but I think there's probably a club out there that would look at Wataru Endo as a starting defensive midfielder, even at age 31. He is still the Japanese captain. He's still, I think, got some legs left, and he can do a good job and probably would be a good signing for, maybe there's a German club out there that would take him back to Germany. But I see Wataru Endo as a leaving. He's got a contract through 2027, so it's not like he's going to run his contract down at Liverpool. I think we're going to see him probably be sold, maybe in the winter, but most likely next summer. All right, next one. Okay, this one hurts. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. Like, my heart is saying, do not get rid of Alisson Becker. But my head says this guy just can't stay healthy. And I don't know if this is something that Slot can fix. And a goalkeeper, like, he can, look at a Konate and try to, and Gravenberch and try to keep them healthy through conditioning and fitness. Alisson Becker, I think, is still, top 2, top 3 goalkeeper in the world, but he just hasn't been able to stay healthy. And we know that in the last couple seasons, that's been the case. And Liverpool need to have a goalkeeper that's going to be in there, that's going to be healthy and is going to play. And so Alisson Becker, for me, I love the guy. He is one of the greatest to ever play the game. But I think it might be time. And I hope again, my heart says, I hope I'm wrong. But I trust Slot to make the right decision. And I don't think Slot is going to be, he's not going to be emotional about it. He's just going to look at the data. He's going to look at the science. And he's going to say, hey, I think it's time for Becker to go. And at his age, 31 years old, still relatively young for a goalkeeper of his stature, I think Liverpool could secure around 40 million pounds for him. So Alisson Becker, I see, potentially on his way out. Unless, hey, maybe the rest of the season, he's fit now. He just came back. Maybe he finds a way to stay healthy. Maybe Arne Slot has a plan for his regiment to keep him healthy. If he stays healthy through the end of the year, why not? Let's keep him. But, we got Marmoush coming in. We've got Kelleher, who just has been brilliant, honestly. And we've got Jarosz. We've got 4 with Becker. If you add Becker into that, we got 4 really good goalkeepers. So at 31 years old, I could see Alisson Becker leaving probably next summer. I don't think he would leave this winter. All right, finally, Diogo Jota. This would be a big sell for Liverpool because Jota is kind of in his prime at 27 years old. But again, this is a player that just can't stay fit, even under Arne Slot. We've seen, I don't know what his official injury is right now. Is it bruised ribs maybe? But this guy he gets hurt and he's out for so long. Jota still has a reputation for being a clinical striker and plays well for club and country. And I think Liverpool, if Jota can come back and play, maybe the final 3 to 4 to 5 months of the season without another major injury, I could see his stock staying relatively high, and I could definitely see a club out there wanting to secure his signature because Jota is still clinical. He's just entering, the prime age for a footballer at 27 years old. And so I could see Jota leaving and making way for the 3 LFC signings to come in. This is where it gets juicy, guys, because I've got some names on here that you're probably going to recognize, I would hope. I've been floating around the club, but I just feel like have to get done. I just feel like they do, guys. These are players who I think would be brilliant. Let's start off with the first. Here it is, guys. Rayan Cherki, or Rayan Cherki if you are French. Rayan Cherki is a brilliant footballer. And if you watch his highlights, you can just see that spark. You can see that spark in the way that he plays. He's got amazing footwork, super quick, and can play really anywhere. He's almost like a Chiesa type player where he can play anywhere in the attack. Attacking midfielder is his kind of preferred position, which I don't know if we need, but also play on the wings. So he can play right wing, left wing. Could be a player that slots in behind Salah and just learns from him and is the prodigy and the next right winger for Liverpool. There's been a lot of talks about Marmoush, okay, and I'm going to give my honest assessment. I think Marmoush is a great player. I would rather have Cherki. Cherki is 4 years younger. Marmoush is 25 years old, and I feel like Cherki has that edge. You can watch both sets of highlights. Marmoush, great player. I think it'd be easy to sign Marmoush, I think, because of the Salah connection. I think it'd be, maybe there's a bargain to be had there because I bet Marmoush wants to come to Liverpool. Cherki, I'm not sure. I think Cherki, maybe there's a Konate connection there, and he wants to come and play for Liverpool. Maybe both want to play. But I feel like Rayan Cherki, because of what we know about Arne Slot wants young players. He wants to work with young players. And when you can get a player that's 4 years younger and maybe, I don't know, maybe has the edge, because I just look at Rayan Cherki's game and I think, wow, this is a guy that would absolutely eat in Arne Slot's system. He has that 1v1 capability. He's got the ability to get in and around and through the defenses. And I think it'd be a brilliant signing at 21 years old. The French international. Number 2, here we go. Milos Kerkez. Guys, I think this is a no-brainer. If we can get him, I think there's probably going to be some competition for this kid because he is brilliant. What I love about Milos Kerkez is he is an absolute dog. You look at the way he plays. He's on the ground a lot, but it's very calculated. Timing-wise, he gets it right every time. And this is a guy that's going to give it all for the club. He's similar maybe to an Andy Robertson back in the day, where Robbo is just passion personified. And I see that same characteristic in Kerkez. Where he is going to put his body on the line, and at the same time, he's going to be durable. He's also 21 years old, very, very young, and he is Premier League proven. Premier League proven at that age is rare for someone of his caliber, and he would be Liverpool's left back for the future. Maybe for the next 8-9 years, which is an incredible signing for £50 million, which I think is the current kind of going rate for Kerkez. Can Liverpool secure his signature? I bet there's going to be competition. But I believe they can, and I believe this kid would be absolutely brilliant. He'd have a couple years, maybe a year or two to learn under Robbo and Simigas at Liverpool. But I think this kid would be fantastic. He can also get forward, and he can assist. We saw that against when Bournemouth played Man City. Kerkez, I think, had 2 assists, was it? I think he was brilliant. So, Milos Kerkez, the left back of the future, out of Bournemouth. All right, last one, guys. This is not going to be a surprise name. You've definitely heard this name before, but I think Liverpool need to go get Martin Zubimendi. Yes, I think that Liverpool will go back in and pressure Sociedad very, very hard this summer. I don't think it's going to happen in the winter, but I think after last summer, and we have a case to be made, because I think the same thing happened with what's his name again? Virgil van Dijk. If you remember, before we signed Virgil van Dijk, there was all this talk in the summer about Virgil van Dijk being signed by Liverpool, and it didn't happen. And then what happened? 6 months later, it happened. 6 months later, Liverpool finally forked out the cash to get the greatest center back in the world, and maybe to ever play in the Premier League, Virgil van Dijk. Was it worth it? Yes, it was. So I think that the same thing could happen with Zubimendi, because I feel like, Zubimendi will probably look at what Liverpool are doing. He'll probably see the slot, agenda, and I think he'll want to come. And now that him and his family, they've had 6 months to a year maybe to think about it and process it. It's not going to be this massive surprise. I think there will be a change of heart there, and I think Liverpool need to do whatever they can to go get this guy. This guy, I think, it's not like we need him now. We've got Gravenberch, we've got McAllister. But if you were to secure a 25-year-old Zubimendi, I think it would be a Rodri-level signing for Liverpool and solidify that midfield for many, many years to come. And I think it would be a brilliant, brilliant signing. So that's what I've got, guys. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. I'm really curious to know, who did I miss? Is there anyone you would place ahead of Cherki, Kerkez, Zubimendi? Or maybe is there somebody that you'd rather sell than the three that I had on the board? By the way, I already mentioned it. We just hit 10K subscribers. Please hop on board. It's not bandwagoning, because this is a fantastic channel. I'm having a ton of fun. And by the way, I will respond to your comment if you comment on this video. So get your comments in and subscribe. Boys, girls, everybody, up the Reds.
Yeah, of course.